We have some interesting updates regarding this discovery underneath the Great Pyramid. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to get into actually a number of new updates. We had a number of large podcasts discussing this new discovery. Some scientists questioning, is it real? We have some video footage of the area as well. And actually, we're going to get into a number of other things as well also. So we also had a podcast. We're talking Joe Rogan. Get into this like a day or two ago. And let's just play a couple of these clips. I'm going to get into what some of these scientists are saying. I'm going to show you why I think theoretically this is legit and real. Because I don't think it's not about penetrating the ground the way that they're thinking. And actually, this, I think, this picture right here kind of says it all. So this is from a landscape, panoramic south-north view of the Giza Plateau with tomographic line cutting through the Kaffa structure at approximately half of its height. The darker central line corresponds to the edges of the Khafre pyramid, northeast and southwest, which have low vibrational content and therefore appear darker. The various bright spots beneath the pyramids represent artificial structures located approximately 2 kilometers below the pyramid plateau. As you can see, there are various bright spots on the screen, and I think this actually shows some evidence of things being built underneath it that are not what you would call natural. We have also these scans here showing some of this as well. Actually, I can't get on the screen very well there. Let's see. I think I have to do it a little different. Okay, let's try this. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it either. All right, here we go. I think this is it. As you can see here on the screen. But like I said, we're going to get into all this and much more. I'm going to play these clips as well. First of all, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. You're going to definitely want to get this if you have not already. Link is in the description. 4 weeks worth for $247. You're going to definitely want to get that. You never know what's next. If you've seen what it's been like the last 5 years, it's always wise to be prepared. Link is in the description for that. Also, this book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House Like They Did in the Good Old Days, hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to need that book before the electricity goes out. And you've seen some of the stuff that's happened in the last few years. It's always wise to be prepared for whatever mostly peaceful thing that may happen next, right? Anyway, let's get back to the video. So I wanted to show you this clip here. This is really interesting. This is apparently the area where these things begin, according to the person making this video. Let me show you this. Let's play this real quick.
Then there's the way the water's coming in. So
I think he's referring to these little particles you can see there as well, because it's very cold down there.
Guessing that there's some form of tunnelage there. There's a tunnel right there.
Yeah, I think those used to connect to all the other tunnels.
These two tunnels are ones that go up and they pump the water.
For water.
So they seemingly already knew what these were. A lot of people have theorized about this. This is from back in 2020. They were saying this is where the water was pumped up from underneath the Great Pyramid. This maybe is one of these cylindrical structures, sort of the opening to one of them that people have been talking about. And actually, let me just show you what I'm referring to. Let's see, I got a picture around here somewhere. Wow, I got lots of stuff open, don't I? Here we go. Yeah, this. So this supposedly what they're showing us there was maybe the entrance into one of these things underneath the Great Pyramid. All right.
That's a theory that there are chamber down there.
Yeah. Well, this does look a lot alike to the Osiris shaft in the way that it was constructed.
So, of course, you can see the hole there. I don't know if that is it or not. All right, but very well could be. It's clearly a massive hole going down into something they think is where this water was coming from. And that's what a lot of these people are proposing these shafts are. We also have this clip here. I saw this over on James LaFeur's channel. Let's check it out.
Aquí están los pilotes.
And right now, everyone on social media is talking about this.
You are literally not going to believe what they've just found underneath the Khafre, the middle pyramid in Giza.
We're not going to believe what they found, not only inside the Great Pyramids, but underneath the Great Pyramid.
So, of course, we saw that little clip there, and a lot of people are talking on social media about this. We also had Joe Rogan with a guest on, I think it was yesterday, I think it was day before yesterday, actually. Scientists claim they've discovered massive vertical cylinders underneath the Great Pyramid, Giza Pyramids, extending nearly half a mile deep underground. Italian and Scottish researchers claim they've discovered a vast underground city underneath the pyramids. And that was what I was showing you earlier. Not this picture, but actually this picture here, which indicates in these bright colors some sort of artificial structures underneath the Great Pyramid. And the reason why we know this, apparently this technology, let's get rid of that, is this right here, the insane Capella 2 satellite that can see through walls. It can also identify what's artificial, what's natural. So in this picture over here, it's identifying unnatural sort of areas underneath the Great Pyramid. And some are saying this is a city. We don't know what it is. But it obviously is a lot of extensive area well deep below the Great Pyramid showing up in that particular picture there or scan there. And you can see here where they're using it for other things from the satellite. It's actually two different ones. It's the Capella and the Umbra. U.S. space satellite company is transforming the way we see our planet. They're removing every barrier in their way, including walls. Currently orbiting the Earth at 7.5 kilometers per second. Capella 2 satellite is the world's highest resolution synthetic aperture radar satellite and is capable of imaging anything visible from the sky with a resolution of 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. What makes the satellite even more special, however, is just how penetrating the radar is. Much like the signal from your cell phone can penetrate through walls, in certain scenarios, so too can the SAR technology. The images produced create an eerie landscape of ghost buildings that allow users of satellite imagery to gain 3D insight onto the area in question. The same technology also allows Capella 2 to see straight through clouds. And it talks about how it's able to discern between natural and artificial structures. So when they say that they know there's a city underneath the Great Pyramid, we don't know what it is, okay? But we do know it's artificial. So we know it's an artificial. This is not a natural land structure, but something 2 kilometers underneath the ground that's artificial in essence. So that's what we know. And then also you can see patterns with regards to the structure with these other pictures. Goodness, I did it again, didn't I? I got this one camera. It's just shooting up at my roof here. How did it get all messed up like that? There we go. As you can see here, I'll see if it's better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. As you can see here, you can see sort of a pattern in how it's scanning. And they were able to make out the structure that everyone's been talking about right here. And you can see, I guess they were somehow, and this is very difficult because this is a very vague picture. Again, this thing, this technology is only accurate for high resolution, several meters underneath the ground, but it's not when it gets to long distances like, kilometers and stuff like that. It's going to be very vague. We don't know exactly what we're looking at. However, what I'm guessing is they're trying to sort of discern what is being viewed here and they were able to come up with what they thought was the pattern. So they saw 8 different structures inside this pattern, and this is how they were able to design what they figured it was. And again, we saw the hole on that video from 2020. You can see here, this is an example right here. You can see there's some sort of spirals on it a little bit. You can see that they're spaced equally, which makes it obviously artificial based, not natural. And this is where they come from there and come up with these designs of what is underneath there. So it's not, we don't have like some high resolution image of what is under there. We have these pictures here, and they were extracting from these pictures this here. Now that is actually accurate. Now the scientists that are saying this isn't trustworthy, it's because the vagueness of the picture. You can't tell. All you know is that this is artificial, and you can see some patterns. That's all we can tell from this, right? But from that, they're extrapolating all these other things, which again, well, it's artificial. We know it's artificial, or not. It's not natural. We can see that there is a pattern of distance between them. What are they, right? We don't know exactly what they are. Again, this video I showed you in the beginning of this video, right here, they saw these water, obviously, and I've seen another video. I was actually going to show you another video, and actually it relates to this. So I should have just kept it open. I had another video. Let me see if I can go pull it up real quick. I might have closed it too long ago. Yeah, I think I did. Let's see if I can go find it really quick. There was another, underneath another pyramid where it showed these particles just like that. I don't have it open. I was going to show it and I just closed it. I thought it was irrelevant, and it's not. It's actually completely relevant. But it showed these particles as well. And he was saying that they were essentially snow particles. So it's very cold down there. This water, because of how vast the area is in the structure, it actually, some of these caverns like this, it'll produce snow. And because there's water down there. So that's actually the evidence of there being water down here, is these snow particles. All right. Let's see if I can pull this back a little bit. Let's play this again.
So I'm guessing that there's some form of tunnelage there. There's a tunnel right there.
Yeah, I think those used to connect to all the other tunnels.
These 2 tunnels are the ones that go up and they pump the water. Yeah.
So then this is, of course, their theory that it pumps water. So this is where this research team sort of constructed their theory as to what's going on. Now there's also seeing other patterns in this SAR Doppler, satellite imagery, where they show these as well. They show these massive formations. Goodness, right here underneath these spiral chambers. So this goes down, from what they can tell, 2 kilometers. But again, like I said, it's kind of funny, because you have all these scientists that will trust and heavily rely on things that they measure out in space hundreds of light years away from Earth. And they'll tell you, oh, we know everything. We know there's water on that planet. We know blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing as what we're looking at here, except for this is not hundreds of light years away. This is probably even more accurate than what a lot of these stories you see. I was looking on Sunday, I was looking at my phone, and I went to the front page of the browser, and it's got 3 different stories, scientific stories. And I'm like, how do you even know any of that's true, what you're saying? Oh, 300 million years ago, this happened. Really, dude? You know that? Were you there 300 million years ago? I don't think so. So, what passes for science today has a far lower value than this, as far as I'm concerned, because they just say things and you're like, where's your proof? Well, we're scientists. Do we need to provide proof? Our peer-reviewed all accepted it. Yeah, your peer review is all people that agree with you. That's the problem. So this is kind of how I look at it. At any rate, of course, I was presenting in my other channel sort of a theory from the channel called the Y-Files, which is a really interesting theory on how the Great Pyramid was an energy generator. Let me just play this clip here, because he explains a lot and he shows some of the evidence that we have already that this could very well be what it was.
The Queen's chamber was used for a chemical reaction that created hydrogen, and there's substantial proof of this. There are two interior shafts that lead to the Queen's chamber. The northern shaft has traces of hydrochloric acid. The southern has traces of hydrated zinc chloride. Combining these two chemicals creates a volatile reaction that generates hydrogen, a lot of hydrogen. This hydrogen gas would flow from the Queen's chamber through the horizontal passage and into the Grand Gallery. The Grand Gallery is also made of granite. As the hydrogen gas builds up, the pressure compresses the granite, creating electricity. This electricity also ionizes the air, increasing conductivity. Within the Grand Gallery were 27 or 28 pairs of resonators that would vibrate and emit sound. The hydrogen atoms would organize themselves into waves in sympathy with the sound waves of the gallery. These sound waves further excite the stone, creating even more electricity.
Yeah, so of course, you can see the whole sort of trace elements are actually in these chambers that would relate to if they were making this sort of energy generator in the pyramid itself. Then these large shafts underneath the Great Pyramid would be where the water is. This would be very similar to the structure of the Tesla Tower, and it would be a very similar sort of device if it is all true. It seems like there is evidence, trace evidence of this underneath the Great Pyramid, trace evidence in those chambers that would indicate that's what the Great Pyramid really was. It doesn't really make sense that it was a burial site. This is an insane amount of labor, and on top of that, impossible to be made by primitive human hands for a simple burial, right? So that's clearly not what it is. It's not some burial chamber. There wasn't 10,000 people, pulling with pulley systems, pulling these massive granite rocks everywhere from 800 miles away. Give me a break. And then also digging down a mile. You know what I mean? Like, what? What? Really? No, I don't think so. So clearly it makes more sense logically that this could be an energy generator because there is some evidence for that. Again, we don't have all the evidence. It would be interesting to see if they could thoroughly figure this out. But of course, the powers that, of course, be may not want that to be known. I've heard that it's very difficult to even get in and see some of these areas in the Great Pyramid as it is currently. And of course, they even have this resonant cavity, which has the harmonic frequency very similar to the natural frequency of granite and some of the other surrounding stones, which would, of course, also have caused resonance frequency to build up. Here's the resonance chamber of those things. I was just showing you this thing right here. That's what this is here. And the more rocks you stack, the different pitch it has for frequency. And, okay, I was going to show something else. What was I going to show? Oh, yeah, here we go. Study reveals Great Pyramid of Giza can focus electromagnetic energy. I think I had another picture. Oh, yeah. They had also this abstract showing how voltage actually flows upward in structures that are like this. So it would flow upward to the top of the pyramid. The pyramid itself was encapsulated with stones that held in the electricity. And then the capstone on top, or is it called a capstone? Whatever it is. Yeah, I think capstone. It would be made of gold theoretically, and that would have caused the electricity to go out like the Tesla coil worked, or the Tesla tower did. This is kind of the theory that is presented on the Y files, which may be what it was. Maybe it was something like this, right? Of course, it wouldn't have looked like this. It would have been all white colored because of the stones that used to be on it at one time that were removed. I think there was still some of them. Wasn't there still some of them back in the 1800s? Or no, maybe not. Maybe not. Because we have pictures in the 1800s. Or no, not 18. We have pictures from 1870 or something, I think, of the Great Pyramid. I think we do have historical documentation about this, where they stole the rocks. I don't know when it was exactly, though. But it was in the last 500 years, though. I know that. But if this was similar sort of device to the Tesla tower itself, it would have essentially generated free energy. And honestly, it would have cost nothing other than, building the whole thing, which that would have been that would have been a pretty penny. Yeah, obviously you need some advanced technology to build as well, because I don't even think we could build it today. based on all the specs and what we're allegedly seeing beneath the Great Pyramid. I don't think Caterpillar could pull that off. Again, I actually had a job offer from Caterpillar way back in the old days when I was an engineer. I actually chose a different company to go with, Navistar. It's a semi-truck company. But they were showing me all the stuff they were building. They were building this massive dam in China. And, of course, they had to clear out all this dirt, which was quite a bit, but it wasn't a mile down. Okay, it wasn't a mile down. So whoever built this area underneath the Great Pyramid, probably more advanced than Caterpillar is. At any rate, of course, they've also found 5,000 years old copper pipe from the pyramid in Egypt, could still be used today. Of course, copper would have been required in these massive chambers underneath the Great Pyramid. If it is indeed, it would have to be in this chamber. They have copper and iron. It would make sense. Then that would actually relate to the Tesla Tower in its structure. Now, of course, again, this is just all conjecture, theories, some evidence here and there. May be true, may not be true. I think it makes more sense than 10,000 people, using a pulley system and copper tools. Oh, I'm cutting this stuff. Give me a break, dude. Okay, that stuff's ridiculous. We all know this is advanced technology. Whatever built this was clearly as or more advanced than we are today. I'm thinking more. They had technology we do not have, or we don't know about. When we do have it, somebody has it maybe. I don't know. But clearly, this was not built by rudimentary tools. Ancient man who had no technology. Come on, this is ridiculous. So the theory we're presenting here is far more viable, far more realistic. Of course, it's only peer-reviewed by you and I. It's not going to be peer-reviewed by those scientists that are carefully chosen. I think that's something they know exactly what happened 300 million years ago, but they don't know what happened 2,000 years ago. Did that Jesus guy exist? I don't know. 300 million years ago, we know 100% for a fact there were dinosaurs, but we don't know what happened 2,000 years ago, though. You see what I mean? Like, it's just kind of funny how they don't believe historical books, but they know exactly what happened 1 billion years ago. That's kind of amazing. At any rate, there's my video, I guess. Pardon my sarcasm. At any rate, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.